Here we go with our chair yoga today. We're going to work a little bit on the limbs, especially the legs, and a little bit on the arms. And what I'd like you to do is maybe have some kind of strap available. As we call this a stretch strap in yoga. And it's not an elasticized one, but an elasticized one would work. You can also use something like a towel or a t-shirt, something that would allow you to hold on to the leg in a straight fashion. Some people use their belts. Some people I've seen use ropes. Rope can be a little uncomfortable. Of course, have your blocks and your bolster handy. And let's come to the edge of the chair. Feet planted below the knees. So the knees are 90 degrees, maybe a little less. Palms face up, elbows beside the thighs, ribs, shoulders back, crown of the head lifted. So you're sitting nice and tall. And let's go through the different joints of the body. Let's start at the ankles. Well, in a certain sense, the toes are all joints as well. We could start with the toes. Just give the toes a little wiggle. Make sure they feel good. And then scan your attention back into your ankles. You might even tap the heels gently, just a little movement. And come up to the knees, left knee, right knee, hips, up through the ribs, and of course all the vertebrae are little joints as well, but we'll go straight to the shoulders, where the neck meets the shoulders, and back. Come into your elbows, left elbow, right elbow, the wrists, and of course the fingers. So we're going to be focused on the limbs today, legs and arms. And if you're working with any injuries, of course, if there's any pain, make sure the movements are gentle so they're not aggravating any injuries. And let's start by warming the limbs up. We'll start with the legs, so lifting the right knee up and then the left knee up. Like you're walking on the spot, but you're seated on the chair. You feel the hip flexors engage, lifting up the weight of the leg. Just walking on the spot. Now you can make this more vigorous simply by pushing your hands down against the knees and making the legs work a little harder. So that's good for strengthening the hip flexors. So strengthening and lengthening those muscles around the knee joint and the hip joint really do pay off for our mobility. So the upper leg muscles are connected to the hips. So let's go from walking up and down to opening left and right. Left knee out, left knee back, right knee out, right knee back. So just working abduction and adduction, left and right. You can synchronize this with your breathing. So inhale, open, exhale, close. Inhale, exhale. Inhale right, exhale right. And once again, with these muscles, you can add resistance as well. How do you do that? As you go to close the leg, you push your hand against the closing thigh. And as you open, you push it against the opening. So my hand is acting as a resistance to those muscles. And the main reason I want to make it harder to open and close the thighs is to build those muscles up, to make them stronger. And these muscles, of course, attach to the knee joint. And so the knee joint needs these muscles to be strong in order to stabilize the knee joint. So these are good therapeutic exercises to do to stabilize and help the knee joint. Because after all, think about all the work the knee joint does. The knee joint opens and closes all the time, every step we take, every movement on the bike, and then pause and straighten the left leg out, curl the toes back, and feel a stretch in the calf muscle. So the calf muscle attaches underneath at the back of the knee. As you extend and pull that toes of that left foot back, slide the left hand down towards the foot and feel a stretch in the hamstring as well. So now we go to lengthening the muscles at the back of the knee joint. As you curl the toes back, it engages these muscles at the front in the shin area that attach to the knee joint as well. Now you might be able to reach the toes, you might be back here on the shin, you might be up here on the thigh. So whatever distance you can do, the main thing is that you can feel that stretch in the back of the leg. Inhale, sit up. Change legs. Extend the right, toes curled back. Feel a stretch in the calf. Start to hinge forward, slide that hand down towards the toes. May or may not reach, doesn't matter. Breathe into the sensations and just notice how that feels on the knee joint. And then come on up. Now another noticing here is the knee joint is bent, but sometimes when we cross the knee joint and bend it out sideways, like folding our legs, we get a different kind of pressure on the knee. So let's check that out. Cross the left ankle over the right, slide it up above the knee joint and hold onto it with your hand or strap, and then bend the right knee so you're in a figure four. So the knee joint's just bent, but now there's a lateral opening with the thigh, so the muscles that connect with the knee get a different kind of stretch here. So just give that, and let's give the knee joint a good rub. A good rub. A little pat. And a little gratitude. Thank you, knee joint, for everything you do. Toes curled back. So it's interesting to play around with the knee joint, still bent, but now we have it in a different position. Of course, this is the position we would think about, say, pigeon pose. We would pull that foot up in towards our ribs into pigeon pose, and some of you might like to try that. See how that feels. And feel how much the upper body works to hold the leg up when you're sitting. Gently release that leg to the floor. And before we go to the other side, let's straighten both legs out again. walk the hands back and lengthen the body. So we really feel that back of those legs. Bend the knees. Let's change sides. So cross the right ankle over the left, slide it up, bend the knee, and we have our figure four on this side. Now, I don't know about you, but this figure four sits a lot easier for me than the other one. You'll see my knee is closer to the floor on this side. The other side, it was kind of up in the air like this. So this is a lot to do with my hips, and everybody's got different hip issues. So once again, give that knee a little TLC, a rub, 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 or a pat, 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 or both. A little gratitude, a little massage. And once again, for those who want to try pigeon pose at a deeper level, you can pick that whole leg up like you're holding a little baby. Bring it up towards your ribs. Now that takes the stretch down into the glutes as well, and into that right thigh, right glute area. Exhale, gently lower that leg, extend both legs out, lean back, and stretch through the back. Now with the knees bent, on the chair at least, we can do calf muscle raises. Simply by lifting the heel bone up, I'll turn sideways and down, sideways and down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So working the foot joint, and we're going to try this later off the chair as well. So up and down, and you can feel that movement in the ankle joint translates down into the toes as well. Up, down. Now the knees aren't opening and closing here. This is really all down in the ankle and foot area. Once again, I can put weight, I can bear my weight down, because these muscles are very strong, the calf muscles. So even though I'm bearing my body's weight down on the thighs, I can still lift up. 3, 2, and 1. I can hear a lot of clicking and popping going on down in my ankles there. And that's not an issue. That's called crepitus. And as long as it's not painful, it's not an issue. Extend the feet out, once again getting that stretch in the back of the calf muscles, and then windshield wiper the feet side to side. So hitting the ankle joint in windshield wipers, that's the American windshield wiper. We can also do the European one where they come together, pigeon toe and go out. Different feeling. And then bending the knees, we're going to pick up the thigh with the hands. So pick up the left leg and point and flex the foot. So we're getting a different movement in the ankle joint. It's a little bit like a calf raise, but now we've got the pointing action going on a little more without the weight of the body on. And while you're there, turn the foot in a big circle, get that rotation. Other way. Lower it down, pick up the other foot, point and flex. Rotate. rotate the other way. And place that leg down. All right, knee extensions and flexions. So we're still on the legs so far. We haven't started the arms. So with knee extensions, pick up that left thigh. I'm not really mirroring you today, so if you're confused by my left and rights, sorry about that. And we're simply going to extend the leg, kick the leg out, and then bend. So of course, once we work the knee joint with extension and flexion, now we're starting to really see what's going on with the knee. Is it okay? Opening and closing. Can I open it and really extend it? We're going to extend it even more later with the strap. But this is a dynamic movement where the knee is being worked by those big muscles, the hamstrings, the quadriceps. And because I'm curling the toes back, the calf muscle. Let's do 3 more on this side, 2 more, and 1. Now, my left leg feels much different from my right leg. It feels warmer. It feels like I've worked it out simply through those exercises of extension and flexion. And once again, if anything doesn't feel right, let's say you extend it all this way and you feel, the knee's talking to me, you might not extend it quite as far. And then relax. Extend. Dangle the shin, relax the knee. Extend. Dangle, extend, flex, extend, flex, and let's do 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2, and 1, and just check in on the knee, how that feels. All right, let's move to the old arms, the limbs up here now that connect to the chest and back. And we'll do some swimmer's hugs firstly. So give yourself a big hug. Notice which elbow is on top, which elbow is on bottom. Open the arms and then switch the position of the elbows. So it's going to feel differently. So continue that. Open your wings and then hug yourself. Open and then hug with the other elbow on top. Continue on, just getting that movement in the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, and even the fingers. You'll see the fingers can flare out. I'll turn that sideways so you can see it. Fingers flare out. And then as I hug, they grip hold of the shoulders and pull them down. Elbows are a little bit like the knee joint, aren't they? They really only move in that hinging pattern. They extend and flex, and that's all they do. They don't rotate like the hips or the shoulders. Even the wrists have a little bit of rotation in them. And that should be warming up the arms and the joints and the shoulders by now. Let's do 3 more on each elbow. That's 1. That's 2. And that's 3. And then release that. So that's a big warming exercise for the upper limbs. Let's focus on the wrists. There's a couple of ways to do the wrists. You can bring your hands out in front of you and just rotate the hands. Rotate the other way. And then shake that out. Shake that out. So just holding the arms like that is a workout. We get the weight of those arms being held out like that, works all those muscles that abduct the arms in that fashion. Let's do some shoulder taps, chest taps. So bring the wings out to the side, bend the elbows, tap your shoulders, and then open up, palms face down like warrior two arms. And then tap the chest, and then open up warrior two arms. Tap the shoulders, warrior two. Tap the chest, warrior two. So already I can feel my shoulders getting warm, starting to feel this movement. It looks like we're not doing anything, but the front of the shoulders are speaking to me. For 3, 2, and 1. Last one. And then drop those arms down. So a little deeper stretch in the arms. Extend the right arm out, drop the fingers down, grab the fingers and pull them back towards you. So you get that nice big stretch in the forearm. Flip the hand 180. So the thumb is on the median of the body. Fingers still point down, back of the hand points away, and pull backwards on the back of the hand. And then we'll do the other side. Switch that out, extend the left arm, fingers point down, thumb points exterior, palm faces forward. Pull back on those fingers, get that nice stretch. And then switch. Back of the hand, pull gently back. Never overdoing these muscles. These muscles and bones where the wrist and the fingers and the hand join the arm are delicate, so we have to be cautious. Exhale, release, and let's grab this strap now. So we'll get into our stretches in a little different way. Let's take the left foot into the strap and start with the foot on the floor. The right knee can be bent. Now, I'll turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. You can see I'm kind of leaning my body's weight back. I'm leaning back towards the back of the chair as that leg. So I'm pulling on the strap. And I don't know if you can see where the strap's located. It's kind of located right where the ball and the arch meet. So not too high, not too low. Now this is where the elastic strap isn't going to be so, well, it's okay, but you might have to grab the elastic down here because as it stretches back, you want to be able to kind of pull into the weight a bit here and really feel a strong static tension. Now watch what we do as we lift that foot up and down, up and down. So we're getting, I'll turn sideways, up and down. And as we go up higher, you start to feel more sensation in the back of the leg. So all those muscles that support the knee start to stretch out. Now the next time you hold up, see if you can hold it, toes curled back. If it gets too much, lower the leg down. And then lower down, release the strap. Come back to neutral, close your eyes, check in with that left leg. And let's change sides. So strap up that right foot. And then kind of leaning the body's weight back. So I'm really putting a lot of tension on the strap here. I'm using the torso's weight to pull back on the foot to help the toes curl back. And that's really a nice feeling in my calf muscle. So often our calf muscle, when it's tight, leads to a tight Achilles tendon, and believe it or not, even plantar fasciitis. So this is a great stretch to help prevent plantar fasciitis. Now we're going to do the leg lift. So this is where we use our strength to lift the leg and lower. Just feeling that, oh, that stretch. Now for some people this is going to feel great and delicious, others it's going to be, ooh. And once again, check in with your knee. Make sure your knee's happy with this lengthening of the muscle behind the knee joint. The next time you lift up, hold. Toes curled back. And this can be a little tough on the hands. You notice that when you hold with the strap with the hands, it can be a little tough on the hands. So let's give the hands a little bit of relief here. Let the strap go. Close and open the fingers. You can come into goddess arms if you like. Let's do goddess arms. So the elbows are bent, shoulder blades gently squeezing, and opening and closing the fists. So we get these little starbursts with the hands. Now that's going to work on grip strength as well, which is a good thing. Let's make it harder for ourselves. Let's come into scarecrow and do the same thing. Open and close the fists. Squeeze the shoulder blades. I notice my head popping forward here, so I'm going to push the back of the head back. I don't want to get into that habit of popping the head forward to compensate. 3, 2, and 1. So we got a little bonus workout with the arms there while we recover from the legs. We're going to come back to the legs and the strap. Let's take the left foot out, strap it up. Now, do you remember last time we hinged forward to touch the toes? So this time I want you to hinge forward, not to touch the toes so much, but to bring your hand closer to the left foot. So you can see I've wrapped my left hand with the strap and it's closer to my left foot. Now, right hand goes on the right knee and I'm going to push on the right knee and lift that foot up. So you can see my left hand is close to the left foot. And the reason I want that like that is I want to open out sideways and back in. Sideways and back in. So we're getting that hip opening while we curl the toes back, and the back of the legs is still getting that stretch. So when we come to do our warrior poses in a moment, with all this stretching and opening with the legs, we should be in good shape. Let's do 2 more, if you can. 1 and 2. Now, as I come to drop it down, I'm going to hinge forward, slowly, 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 release the strap, bend the knee, and even though only one hand needs the relief, I'm going to do both hands in goddess. Now notice in goddess I've got my elbows out 90 degrees from the shoulders. The elbows are roughly 90 degrees, so it's a little bit like goalpost arms. You feel the shoulder blade squeeze. Now I'm going to drop the hands down into scarecrow. It's a little harder to get that one at 90 because the head wants to pop forward here. So I'm trying to keep my shape here. I'm looking at the television to see if I can get it. So the arms, shoulders, legs, all getting a big workout. Change legs, extend right, strap up right, toes curled back, hinge forward like you're reaching for your toes. Now I like to wrap the strap around my right hand, and you can see how close my right hand is to the foot. And it's close enough so I can hold on as I lift the leg up. Left hand pushes down on the left thigh, and then bring the torso back, leg up. So I'm holding much closer. I'm going to open out, this time to the right. Toes curled back and back in. Right. Make sure your knee joint is happy with this. So it's definitely putting these muscles, these lengthening muscles, are all going to affect the knee joint. So we want to make sure that the knee joint's happy. This is also good core strength and upper body strength. 3, 2, and slowly come down. As you come down, hinge forward, come forward with the head, release the strap, bend the knee. Starbursts, goddess. Scarecrow, starbursts. Watch the head doesn't pop forward. Interesting, that's challenging. And release. All right, so we've worked the limbs quite a bit. More to come, but let's do some warrior poses in between time. Open up the left knee. So I'm going to go back to mirroring you. So it's actually my right leg, but I'm going to call it my left so it matches you on your screen. Heel toe the right leg out. Get that nice inner thigh stretch. Now, because we just did those inner thigh stretches, that should feel pretty good. Now, notice in Warrior 2, particularly on that back leg, this could bring sensations on the inner knee joint, because the adductor joins the inner knee joint. So you might feel this, especially depending on your foot. Now, avoid rotating the foot outwards. That's going to strain the knee. So rotate the foot inwards like a little bit pigeon-toed. That's going to help support the knee joint. Float that right hand behind you. Turn the head left and then float the left hand out. So the arms, fingers are flared, hips are open. And let's do some airplane work with our arms. Drop the right arm back, lift the left arm up like you're an aeroplane banking. Oh, reverse warrior. Come back to warrior 2, level out your airplane. And then reach forward and bend that front elbow. Lean it into your thigh and then bring that back wing up, 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 up and over. See if you can make a nice straight line between that hand and your back foot, like it becomes one limb from fingertips to ankle, a single limb. So the whole right side of the body is united in that big stretch. Come back to warrior 2. Even out the airplane. Drop the hands. Bring the thighs slowly back together. So you can see, especially in any kind of yoga, really, I always am a proponent of a slow release, a slow transition, not rushing into the next transition. Because think about what we just did to the knee joint, to the shoulders, even to the neck. We had them really in semi-extreme positions. So we don't want to rush as we come back. Check in with the knees, little patty whack there. Feels okay. Open the right thigh out. Heel toe that left leg. I'm going to get rid of the block here so you can see it clearly. Slightly pigeon-toed so my left knee is not overly strained. Now here comes the rotation of the torso. Bring that left shoulder back a bit. Look left. Look over that left shoulder. Float the hand out evenly. Turn the head and then raise your other wing. Level out the aeroplane warrior 2. Spread the fingers. Check in with the legs. Big stretch for the legs. Bank the aeroplane down. Left hand comes back, right hand comes up. Big stretch. Level out, warrior 2. Lean forward, bend that front elbow, and then the back arm is going to come up. I flip the palm. Palm is going to face over my head, and then I try to get that nice straight line from fingertips to ankle. Come back, level out the plane, and drop. Carefully bring the hips back, grab your strap again. So we're going to come back to the arms a little bit. Have the strap handy. I'm going to rest mine over the thighs. Bring the hands out to the side. Now we've already done this exercise where you hug yourself. Hug yourself so that the right elbow is on the bottom. Pull the shoulders down. And then if you can, lock the elbows in so the elbows remain locked. But release the hands and try to bring the hands together. So the bottom hand, the right hand, is pushing into the left hand. Now that's not going to be available for everyone, so here's an alternative. You take your strap, the left hand holds the strap, you hug yourself, the strap comes onto that right shoulder, you lock your elbows in. Now as you keep the elbows locked in, your strap is available so the right hand can grab the strap, you see? And so the right hand now has got something to pull against. And that's that pulling, the right hand pulling the strap, or the right hand pulling or pushing at the left hand is going to give you the stretch. Well, where does it stretch? You can feel that in your arms, but you can also feel that in your shoulder blades. So we come into our eagle arms. Gently release. So left arm definitely feeling most of the sensation there. I'm going to do a couple of circles with my left arm. Big shoulder circles. And the other way. Now take that left hand and sweep it in front of you. Left, right, left, right. Just feeling that opening and closing. Let's try the other side. I'll demonstrate with the straps. So the strap's in my right hand. And this time my left elbow comes underneath. Lock the elbows. That's the important part, that locked elbows. Pull the shoulders down. Keep the elbows locked. Now as the hands come back, that right hand's got the strap, the left hand can hold the strap and pull against it and even walk up towards that right hand. Some of you will have hand to hand. Now, whether it's hand to strap or hand to hand, start to really pull the tension here so you can feel those shoulder blades come apart. The right arm's going to feel most of the sensation, unless you have an injury, of course. And then release slowly. Keep your strap. Rotate the right arm. Reverse direction. And then bring it out to the right and sweep across to your left and back. Like you're opening and closing a big shower curtain. And then release. The next one for the arms, shoulders, and neck is, to me, one of the most interesting poses in yoga. It's called cow face pose. Because the elbows are really going all over the place. You're lifting one arm up behind the head and the other one comes up the back and they try to meet, right? So we're just going to do some very loose ones. This is about, for me, probably about 40%, so I'm not really trying with it. And then I switch sides and bring the right hand behind my head and the left hand up my back. It's like I'm trying to scratch up towards my shoulder blades. And already I can feel my left shoulder is very different from my right shoulder. So come back. Let's do this a few times. Just get used to the movements. So the hand that's above the head, the palm of the hand is pushing against the back, and the hand that's coming up the back, it's the back of the hand against the back. So it's just such an unusual way to use the arms, bringing them both behind the back. One comes from the top, one comes from the bottom. But it just shows you the versatility of the arms. They're quite incredible. Now the next time you bring the right elbow up and the left elbow back, take the left elbow away, so bring that left hand out and bring it over the head to join, to hold on to your right elbow. See if you can keep your head back, so you don't want to drop your head down or lean forward. You want to try and sit up straight here. And as best as you can, try to bring that elbow, that right elbow behind the head more, and push the back of your head against your forearm so you're not dropping the chin to the chest. Now we're going to do a big stretch here in the rib cage by leaning to that left side. So the right rib stretches out. And breathe. And now slowly come back and release the arms. That's intense. I find that one of the most intense poses in yoga. It's just a big, intense pose. There's a lot of sensations. Neck, shoulder, whew. So many parts, and then we open the ribs like that. Let's try the other side. So the left hand comes up, the left elbow is up in the air, and my right hand is going to work and pull that left elbow back a little more. And the goal here is to keep pushing the head back so we don't compensate and lose posture. So I'd rather see it out here and the head back then up here in the head forward. You see how I've dropped my head forward? I don't want to do that. I want to get good posture here. And then as I pull on that left elbow, I'm going to lean to the right. And as I lean to the right, it really stretches through my left tricep, left armpit, and left rib cage. And then come up. Before we come into the full-blown pose, let's release the shoulders, a few shoulder rolls. Other direction. And then pause, palms face up. Turn the head left. Inhale neutral, exhale right. Inhale neutral. Right. Left. Bring the head to neutral, drop the chin to the chest, lift the chin up. Drop. Lift. Grab the strap in the right hand. So I've got plenty of strap. That's about the length of my spine, I guess, close to it. And that's going to dangle behind my back. So I bring that right elbow up and dangle the strap behind me. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see everything that's going on here. You can see my little tail dangling down. Then I'm going to take my left hand and pull that right elbow back, like we did last time. And then my left hand is going to release the elbow and find the strap. Now I'm dropping my head forward a little bit as I do that. But once I've got the strap, I want to push the head back up. Can you see how straight I'm sitting? And I'm at about 50, 60% of my ability here. So that left shoulder I know is very tight. Let me turn my back on you so you can really see what I'm doing here. You can see how far apart my hands are. And then I'm going to start to walk my left hand. Can you see it creeping up towards that right hand? They come a little closer. Now there'll come a point where the back will want to overarch. So I've got to tuck my tailbone as best as I can so I don't overarch. And you can see my head is nicely positioned. It's not popping forward. So my left shoulder is getting a lot of sensation right now. And for me today, that's about 80, 90%. And I don't want to push it any more than that. Exhale, gently release. So for me, it's the arm that's coming up, the back body that gets most sensation. Shoulder rolls. Other way. Turn the head left. And then right. Back to neutral, head down. Chin up. Down and up one more time. And then take the strap into the left hand. Dangle it behind the back. Bring the elbow back a little more. So I get that nice stretch again. Then the right hand's going to come behind the back. Up towards the left. Now, look at the difference. I'll turn my back and you're probably experiencing something similar where the hands are different. They're either further apart than the last one or closer together. In this case, mine are closer together. they're closer together with the same amount of intensity. So it shows you how differently proportioned the shoulders, my shoulders are. Now I know from a fact, if you do this exercise on a regular basis, if I did this 2 or 3 times a week, the flexibility would come back pretty quickly. I would be able to probably hook up the hands at least on this side, maybe not the other side. And then exhale, gently release. Well, I think I promised you some standing calf muscle raises, but I don't know where the time got to. So we're going to do a little Shavasana here. To finish the class. So with Shavasana, take a cushion behind your back. I like to use the bolster. I'm going to bring a couple of blocks onto their lowest setting in front of me, and because my blocks are black and the mat is black, you probably can't see them. So I'm going to put my blanket on top and then rest my feet on the blanket. So you can see my feet are elevated, and that allows me to lean back, rest the back of the hands on the thighs, and those of you who've done a lot of yoga know that Shavasana is a complete contrast to everything else we do in the class. So the whole purpose of Shavasana is to become very still, to breathe very gently, and in that gentle stillness, consciously relax There's different ways we can relax. But we want to find an effortless way to relax. So the most effortless way is to simply notice. This is called a body scan. Is to simply notice, where do I feel any tension or discomfort? Can I invite that part of my body to soften or go limp? It could be the jaw. It could be the hands or back. It could be the toes. And if I can't, can I find a more comfortable way to sit or lie down so that that part of the body can relax? The other way we can do it is by mantra. I like to use a mantra with each breath. So as I inhale, I say quietly in my mind's eye, I relax, and as I breathe out, I say the words quietly, even more. I relax, breathe in, even more, breathe out, in, I relax, out, even more. Relax, even more. So two different ways, two different approaches in Shavasana to be as effortless as you can. There's a little bit of effort there, but as you get better and better at that relaxation, it becomes more and more effortless. And I find one of the benefits of Shavasana is it helps me realize how good my body feels at the end of practice after doing all that work. It feels more alive, more stretched out, even stronger. So that little transition before we get up from the mat, called Shavasana, I find is a very significant part of our class. I relax even more. Relax the hands. Relax the lips. Soften the neck. And often when we exhale, that's the time to super relax. Like a tire going flat. As you exhale, all the pressure of the lungs relaxes. The shoulders sink. So focusing on the exhale can be another third way to really let go. And the beauty of doing chair yoga at home with a video or via Zoom is you have this option of staying longer in the pose if you want to. For some people, Shavasana is a time to really rest before they transition and start to move about. So just consider if you want to stay here resting, or take a deeper breath in. Maybe reach the arms up a little bit and stretch. Oh. Turn the head one direction and then the other. Look up. Ooh. Grab the seat of the chair, and I like to bring my feet off the blocks but still lean back against the chair. So I can do that with the pillow behind me. It feels good. So I'm not quite into full chair yoga pose again, but I'm not in Shavasana. Close the eyes, notice how you feel, notice how the limbs feel, legs and arms. And thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.